Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and just like every week we have a great selection for you guys and girls, even with something that we've never sold before, an erotic watch. Yes, you heard that right, a watch that features an erotic image behind the turbine on this watch. I can't believe I'm saying all these words, very strange, but we'll obviously take a closer look at that. Plus we've got some great vintage watches and everything in between as usual, including something I've been looking forward to finally stocking, and we have one in. So yeah, really excited about that. And yeah, some really great stuff. I do want to say thank you for everyone. It's been another good week. Every week so far has been really good, and I'm really thankful for that. So yeah, if you have a watch you want to sell, head over to the website kibblewatches.co.uk. There is a sell section. Complete that form and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. I think there's a bit of a backlog from last week, so I will go through and get back to you all, and I appreciate your patience and understanding as well. So before we dive onto what's on the table, what's on wrist, I'm wearing the Rolex Oyster Date Precision 6694 1969 with box and papers. This may unfortunately be coming up for sale, as you guys and girls know. Being a watch collector is always chopping and changing, and being a watch dealer is even more so the case, because there's always new opportunities with stock and things we could be buying. And also, we always have to manage cash flow. It's a typical thing as a watch dealer. So this may be coming up for sale, so keep an eye out if you are interested. I'm not saying it is just yet, but keep an eye out. So now that all of that is out the way, let's crack on to what you're here to see, and that is the watches. So let's start with the Bulgari Octo Finissimo in black, an absolutely incredible watch. Let's take a closer look. So to begin this week's episode, the Bulgari Octo Finissimo in black, an absolutely gorgeous watch that is amazing on the wrist. It's one of those watches, it looks big and the dimensions aren't particularly small, but it's amazing how well it wraps around the wrist, and really it has been designed with sort of wrist ergonomics in mind. You have a nice screw down crown over there with a nice black onyx fill, and the movement, which is definitely a highlight of this watch, a beautifully decorated movement by Bulgari. This is their caliber BVL138 with the micro rotor, which is in solid platinum. An absolute crazy watch, a crazy movement. Obviously it features its integrated bracelet. It unfortunately comes with no extra link, so it will fit a 7-inch wrist, but in the box is a Bulgari strap as well, so you've got that option to choose from. Now the watch is well worn, it has been loved, it has been worn, and it has been used as it should be. It's nice to see watches like this actually enjoyed. So that does mean there are scratches on the watch where you'd expect them, and we can get those polished and refinished for you at an additional cost if you would like, and obviously we'll add additional time to the order, but just let us know. We like to keep watches in unpolished condition where we can, and then leave the option to the new buyer of whether they want it refinished or not. The reason being, you know, we can always polish afterwards, but we can't go back to unpolished. And some people, they don't mind scratches at all. If anything, they kind of like it because they can put a watch straight on, wear it, and not worry. So yeah, we're leaving that option to you. Sub-seconds over there as well, just a very good overall design, obviously quite famous as well among the Bulgari lineup, and it's great to see what Bulgari are doing, especially with the recent purchase of Daniel Roth and where all that's going to go as well. So I'm excited to see what's to come, and Gerald Genter and so on and so on. So let's show this one on wrist. Oh, sorry, the reference is 103297, and it's from September 2020 with its box and paperwork. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see what I mean. It works so well on the wrist. It's such a gorgeous watch. So what you're looking at size-wise is 40mm by 46mm lug to lug, only 6.5mm thick, and 29.5mm at the lugs, tapering down to the clasp. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive watch on the wrist, and if you haven't had the opportunity to try one of these on, I'd book an appointment and come see it for yourself. It's one of those that will totally capture you. So go check it out on the website today. From there to the Perrelet, I think is how you pronounce it. I apologise if I'm butchering the pronunciation, but the Perrelet Turbine Erotic watch. So warning, if you are offended by any of these images, skip on to the next watch, and therefore you won't be offended. So let's take a closer look at this one. So next up, the Perrelet Turbine Erotic. So warning, you will see some erotic imagery behind that turbine. So yeah, what you're looking at is the Pirelli Turbine, a watch that they have been making for a little while. It's one of the things that they're sort of known for, and the turbine is obviously the dial that spins and sort of creates the turbine look. This watch is in all black, really great looking watch, and quite interesting really. You know, I thought a lot of this watch would be down just to the the sort of wow factor of what they're creating, right? Erotic watches aren't really a thing anymore. So for Pirelli or Perrelet, however you pronounce it, to be making one, I thought that would be the whole point, and that's where the price would be. And I was not really, you know, I wasn't expecting a lot, let's say. However, I am very pleasantly surprised. I think the watch is actually really well built. It's very interesting, and it's very nicely done. And what you're seeing inside the case back is an automatic Pirelli caliber P181/Turbine. You have got the original rubber strap, as you can see with the deployment. Now, unfortunately, this has been cut down to size, and it will only fit a 6.5-inch wrist. So do keep that in mind. If you want a bigger strap, you will have to order one from Pirelli, and they will have one available, I suspect. We've reached out to them, so we can provide that for you. What else? So the reference to this one is A4021/1, and it's from July 2017 with its box and paperwork. Now, as you can see, when that turbine isn't spinning, you can't really tell there's anything there, and that's kind of the point. However, once that is spinning, you can see the imagery behind, so that's something to keep in mind. That's how it works. Quite an amazing history with these erotic watches in general. They go all the way back to the 1800s, and it's a lot more interesting than you may think. So head over to the website. We've put a little bit of the history there, dating back to the monks even, with certain things, so go check it out. But they show on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see not fastened in, but it gives you a rough idea. So what you're looking at here is 44mm by 54.5mm lug to lug, 12mm thick, 12.5mm thick, and 18mm on the lugs. That's obviously from this part that flares out as it comes around. So to make note of with the crown, it has a little sort of lever, I guess you'd call it, and that helps just for getting purchase to pull out the crown to set the time and so on. That's how that works. It's not really got any other use. You can do it without it, but again, it just makes it a little bit easier. So yeah, head over to the website and check this one out today. From there on to another one. Yes, this is another Zin the Rake Revolution. This isn't the same one as last time, different serial number because it's limited to 150. It's just a crazy coincidence we managed to get two, one after another, of the 150 total. This will be the third or fourth, I can't remember, that we've sold, which is kind of amazing. Great watch. So let's take a closer look. So another Zin and the Rake Revolution Dark Star 155. A really, really gorgeous watch with obviously the Dark Star right there on the dial, as you can see, and just a really great looking watch. Obviously vintage inspired with the design, with the faux patina, the sort of wear to the bezel, which looks really great. This sort of black friction fit bezel. Obviously a two register chronograph, automatic movement inside, which is this Sellita SW510, and this one's from September 2019 with its box and papers. You can see it comes on its original Zin bund, as you can see, which you can take the bund part off. So if you're not a fan of bund straps like myself, I'm not really, you can take it off and then you can wear it just as a traditional watch. And you can see this is number 147 out of 150, so right towards the end of that limited edition range. As I say, you know, it's great to see brands doing these kind of collaborations, and we've been fortunate to have a few of them. And the Rake and Revolution with Seiko have been doing some really great things in general. And I think whenever they go to do something, it's usually Seiko's design ethos and sort of mind that goes into it, which makes it very interesting. It's always a good thing, so I'm all for them. So let's show this one on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go, paired comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. So this is a big watch. By no means is it a small watch, but it is comfortable and it wears surprisingly well. So if you have a smaller wrist and you're worried, I wouldn't be too worried. It's one to maybe come in and try on, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So this is 43mm by 51mm lug to lug, 15mm thick. That's not including the bund part as well, so do keep that in mind. And 20mm on the lugs, so quite small on the lugs, but endless options. And a nice brown strap looks good on this, especially if you can try and match it to the patinaed loom look. It really works. So go check this one out on the website today. From there to a Damasko DK11 SI. This is a watch that if you hit it against a wall, I will feel sorry for the wall and not the watch. This is one of those ridiculously tough watches. You could do anything with this. So let's take a closer look at this one. So I am regularly asked, what is a great everyday watch that you can go anywhere, do anything in, and just it will take a beating and you can really do absolutely anything. I always turn, well not always, but regularly turn to the German watchmakers such as Damasko, Zin, and so on. And I think they just produce incredible watches that are over-engineered in the typical German fashion and built to pretty much withstand anything, and this is one of those watches. This is the DK11 SI, and what is really cool about this one is it features the full lume dial. Obviously very hard to capture in complete light here, but you can see the whole dial is lumed, which I think is really, really cool. You've got a day date over there, really nice white and black. With the black bezel again, which really works, and the pops of red, excuse the noise in the background. Screw down crown as well, and beating away inside is an automatic movement. This is the automatic Damasko caliber A135-1 TOP. Sorry, I wasn't showing it there. And you can see it beating away inside. Very plainly decorated. To be honest, I would have preferred a non-open case back, but again, they've done a really good job with the watch. The rotor spins really nicely on a ball bearing system, so you haven't got to worry about that not transferring power or anything like that. It does come on its hardened steel, so this is all hardened steel, by the way, so it just really takes an absolute beating and doesn't really show any marks. It does come with its bracelet. This is the original Damasko bracelet. All links are included, and it also comes with a Damasko strap as well, which is really nice. The watch is in great condition. There's not really any wear, but on the bezel I think there's a mark or two. I can't even find it right now. Give me a second. Yes, that's where it is. So there's a little mark near the 12 o'clock pip. You can see it just there, tiny little scratch. Other than that, there's not really anything on the watch, and I just want to make that noteworthy because, again, there is pretty much no wear on the watch itself just because of how they've made the watch. But they show on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go, fitted to my 7-inch wrist. I don't know if I said, but this is May 2020 with its box and papers. And what you're looking at is 42mm by 50mm lug to lug, 13.5mm thick, and 22mm lugs. It has a hell of a wrist presence, but is super comfortable considering, and again, it is one of those watches you can really go anywhere and do anything with, so go check it out on the website today. From there over to a watch that I actually think I prefer to the all steel version. This is the Tudor Black Bay 36 steel and gold, now discontinued with the brushed gold, which I think is really, really attractive. So let's take a closer look at this one. So as I said, a watch that I actually prefer to the all steel one. A lot of you know I owned a Black Bay 36 for a while. There's quite a few videos on my channel about it, including why I sold it, and that video I think did quite well. And in that video I said I feel like it has a bit of an identity issue. And by that I mean you've got the dial of a dive watch in a 36mm watch without a diving bezel or anything like that, and it's not really a dive watch. Now, I still sort of agree with that premise. I still think it's a fantastic watch. I love the watch, and I've owned it for stock multiple times since, and I will continue to because I do think it's a great watch for the money. However, this in the steel and gold I think makes a lot of sense. It looks really, really good, and it feels like an interesting Oyster Perpetual maybe from Rolex. It's something they would have done back in the day, which I think is really cool. So this is the now discontinued reference 79503, and if I'm not mistaken, the later version, because it's still available, you can buy it, but not this exact one. It now has polished gold rather than brushed. I think that's the only difference. Now for me, I actually really prefer this brushed gold. Now it looks rose gold to me. I don't know if Tudor are calling it rose gold or yellow gold or just gold, but this definitely looks rose gold to me. And on the head of the watch is solid 18 karat gold bezel and solid 18 karat gold crown and solid 18 karat gold end pieces. So those two bits there are solid 18. The rest of it is a cap. And what that means is there's a roll of gold, you can sort of see it there on the side, that goes over stainless steel. So that's a thick layer of solid gold around stainless steel. And what that does, it brings the cost down, obviously, compared to having full gold. You sort of cap it. You know, I haven't got a problem with it. It's stated. I think if they hadn't stated that and just sort of released it as such, I think that would be very disingenuous, but they have obviously stated it. This watch comes with all of its links. It comes with its box and papers from December 2019, and inside is the automatic ETA 2624-2. Very reliable ETA movement. But as I say, for me, this watch is far more attractive than the full steel version. That's just my opinion. You know, I'd be interested in hear what you think down in the comments. But they show this on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Very, very comfortable watch. No surprise there. This is 36mm by 44mm lug to lug, only 10mm thick and 19mm on the lugs. A great looking watch, and I think it's going to make someone very happy out there. So go check this one out on the website today. From there, let's go over to a beautifully refinished 1958 Amiga Seamaster on a beads of rice bracelet as well. A really lovely example. Let's take a closer look. So next up, a really gorgeous Amiga Seamaster automatic. This one is from 1958 and it is in wonderful condition. Now the dial has been professionally and beautifully refinished. I have to say this is one of the better ones I've seen. Or I'd probably say one of the best ones I've seen actually. The loom has been redone as well, so it's now Luminova rather than tritium. That's both in the hands and the dial, but again, really well done. Not messy at all. It features its original Amiga crystal with the logo etched right there in the center, which you could possibly see right now, but the case has been very well preserved. It's been polished but nicely done. Original Amiga crown as well, which is the correct sort of hexagonal faceted crown. It comes on an Amiga beads of rice bracelet as well. Hippocampus nice and strong. It's just a very nice example. So this is the reference 2846 or 2848. The reason I say or is because both references are stated on the inside of the case back. Amiga used to do this, and it was for different countries had different references, if I'm not mistaken. So one country would be one reference, one country would be the other reference. The reason for that, I don't actually know. I'm not too sure. But this one's from circa 1958, as I said, and inside is the automatic caliber 501. This is all the links it comes with, and it will fit, I believe, over a 7-inch wrist. Let me just double check. Yeah, it will fit over a 7-inch wrist, so this is on my wrist right now. I'd probably want to move it quite a bit up, but a really, really lovely example. And whilst we're here, let's do the wrist dimensions. Look at that. So a lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people, they hear the 34mm and they sort of go, oh, it's too small for me. I would say you need to see it in person because it doesn't wear like a 34mm. It truly wears like a 36. And this is 34mm by 42mm lug to lug, 11.5mm thick and 18mm on the lugs. So endless options swapping this out onto straps. But for me, I'd keep it on the bracelet, I think. And that's one good looking watch. So go check this out on the website today. From there over to a 1966 Satina automatic chronometer with a beautifully finished linen dial, original crown, just in fantastic condition. It's one of those watches, if it said a different brand name like Amiga, if it was the Constellation, let's say, this would be double if not triple the price if in this condition with this kind of format. It's kind of amazing how that happens. So let's take a closer look at this beauty. Next up, a really lovely example, Satina automatic chronometer with a linen dial. I apologize if this is blowing out a bit on the video, but hopefully you can see it. Really nice, really original, nice black onyx markers, black onyx in the hands. You've got tritium on the dial still. Date over there at 3 o'clock, and just a very nice profile. Original signed Satina crown, nice Satina signed case back as well, all stating chronometer on there. Obviously something they were very proud of, and at this time I'm not surprised. This is circa 1966, and again, if this had Amiga written on the dial Constellation, this would probably be closer to triple the price, if not maybe more, considering the condition. If it was in similar condition, that's for sure. So inside this is the automatic Satina caliber 25-651, and that was upgraded to chronometer spec, and the reference to this one is the 5801-200. And as I say, circa 1966. No box or papers, but again, at the price point, you really cannot go wrong. But they show on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that just looks fantastic. So this is 35mm by 41.5mm lug to lug, 11mm thick and 18mm on the lugs. So go check this beauty out on the website today. From there, let's go over to this beast. This is a Eternomatic Kontiki Super Diver limited edition. Crazy piece with a really cool bracelet as well. So let's take a closer look. So Eterna time with a Kontiki, and the Kontiki is a range that Eterna have been making for a very long time with a great history, and one well worth reading up on our website. So this one is the 1973 Kontiki Super limited edition of 1,973 pieces. And the reference to this one, I won't bore you. You can go over to the website and read it. It's a long reference. If you so wish, you have your dive-in bezel, you have a screw-down crown, and as we flip it over, you have a nice decorated case back with one of the Kontiki ships and the limited edition number proudly stated, as well as the serial and reference, or part of the reference at least. And what makes this one quite interesting is it comes with its original mesh seatbelt style Eterna strap with the extension. So there is an extension in the box, which is basically another one of these to make it even bigger. Something to keep in mind is taking these out is going to be near impossible. So you only have the adjustment here. So it only fits certain size wrists. And again, when you go bigger, it's quite a jump as well. So do keep that in mind. But the good thing is at 22mm lugs, there are options, and we've thrown in a rubber strap as well, so you can wear it on that. The inside here is an automatic ETA 2824-2, and this one's from June 2014 with its box and paperwork. It's in worn but fair condition. So yeah, let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that is one big and bold watch, but it's really, really comfortable and surprisingly fits the wrist quite well despite the size. So what you're looking at is 44mm by 48mm lug to lug, so very short lug to lug, 13mm thick, and as I say, 22mm on the lug, so you can swap this bracelet out for a strap quite comfortably. It looked pretty good on a black leather as well, I think, but go check this one out on the website today. From there over to a Christopher Ward C60 GMT, and what makes this one so special is its serial number 001 as stated on the paperwork and obviously the watch, so it's the, whether it be the first serially produced, which I suspect will be the case, Christopher Ward C60 GMT. I think that's fascinating, so let's take a closer look. So the GMT, this is the Christopher Ward C60 GMT MK3 in blue with the vibrant orange of the second hand and the text down there at 6 o'clock as well. Really nice little pop of orange. Nice ceramic bezel in blue, nice screw down sign crown as well. And these C60s have very nice cases, very nice proportions, nice polished edges and chamfers. I think Christopher Ward really know what they're doing when it comes to this kind of design. And as we flip it over, obviously the famous trident, and stated along there, you can see AAB-001, and as stated on the paperwork, it is hashtag 001, so number one serial of the C60 GMT MK3, which is quite cool. This one's from February 2019, does come with its box and paperwork, and is paired on this Christopher Ward blue fabric strap. You can get the bracelet from Christopher Ward if you would prefer it on that. And inside is the automatic Sellita SW330-1. Again, a really cool watch and a quirky little feature having number one. I think that's pretty damn cool. So let's show this on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see very, very comfortable and very nice proportions. What you're looking at is 42mm by 48.5mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 22mm lugs. It looks really good on this strap, and the bracelet would be a nice addition as well. So go check it out on the website today. From there over to the Pharaoh Endeavour Titanium All Black. This is a wonderful watch and I think really, really great. If you're into the all black watches or you want to try an all black watch, this is a great option that really won't break the bank and, to be honest, looks absolutely fantastic. I think they've done a really good job of this. So let's take a closer look at this one. Next up is a great looking watch with the Pharaoh Endeavour Black DLC Titanium. Yes, this is titanium with black DLC, a very, very good looking watch, and quite a hard process to do actually, DLC in titanium. This one's from July 2020 with his box and papers, and beating away inside is a Sellita SW200-1, a nicely decorated rotor, and just a nice design overall. A fitted rubber strap with their logo stated on the back and the buckle as well. You have obviously your compressor case with two crowns. The bottom crown is actually for the internal bezel, so that rotates the bezel, and the top crown is for your time and winding and everything like that and setting. So yeah, nice feature with the two crowns, and again a nice true compressor as well. Very, very good design, very, very nice overall. And again, if you're looking for an all black watch, there's always, like, you either really love them or you don't. We often say they're Marmite watches here in the UK. And that means you're either going to really like them or you're not. And I think Pharaoh is a great way to get into it because they do some all black watches. It's a great way to get into it with a really good looking watch that isn't going to break the bank. And I think that's exactly what they've achieved here with this one. But let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we are on my 7-inch wrist. There's no denying how good that looks. And again, super, super comfortable. Proportions are great. At 41mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick, and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options for this watch if you are a fan, but go check it out on the website today. From there over to a Seiko Turtle. This is the SRP 773 in blue, a quintessential Seiko Prospex Turtle. You really can't go wrong with these, and again, for the price, they are a no-brainer. So let's take a closer look. So next up is the Seiko Prospex Turtle. This is the SRP 773 with the blue dial and blue bezel. One of my favorites because it's just the turtle at its core, right? And I've been very fortunate and lucky to have owned and sold most of the turtles, from vintage turtles to modern to the King Turtle range, you name it, we've probably had it, which is really, really cool. However, there's something that always draws me back to this model. Both the 777, I think it is, which is the black, and the 773, which is the blue. I've owned these multiple times over, and this is probably the 5th time I've had this one as well. It's just a great watch. So what you're looking at is a watch with box, no paperwork, from circa 2017. You can see it's in worn but good condition. A couple of marks of the bezel here and there. It's a watch that's been worn as it should be. Inside is the automatic Seiko caliber 4R36. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. So let's show it on wrist and taut dimension. And here we are, fitted comfortably to my 7-inch wrist. This just looks perfect. So what you're looking at is 45mm by 47mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 22mm on the lugs. There's some great aftermarket bracelet and strap options out there for this watch. But to be honest, on their own bracelet or blue rubber, it looks perfect. So go check it out on the website today. From there over to a Seiko 5 Sports. This is a limited edition with the Yuto Horigomi. Some of you remember this watch. I had it, sold it, and now got it back, and I think it's a fantastic limited edition. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with it. Again, an all black watch that's not going to break the bank and looks fantastic. And the dial, this is probably one of my most favorite of this new Seiko 5 range, to be honest. I think it really, really works. So let's take a closer look at this one. Next up, a limited edition from Seiko with a Japanese artist. Really, really great looking piece, and the dial is fantastic. This sort of camo black and grey, which really pops. You've obviously got the day date over there, a nice black bezel as well, which looks really, really good, and black DLC coated case as well. So this all black look again, at an even more impressive price, under £200. You really can't go wrong. So this is the SRPJ39K1, and inside is the automatic Seiko caliber 4R36, so manually winding and hacking. Very, very convenient, and it's a limited edition of 6,000 pieces from September 2022 with its box and papers, and probably my favorite strap Seiko have made yet. This is a very nice, very comfortable rubber strap. Hopefully this is going to be the new standard from Seiko because it is super comfortable. But let's show this on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we are on my 7-inch wrist, as you can see, comfortably fitted with the strap. So what you're looking at is 42mm by 45.5mm lug to lug, 13.5mm thick and 22mm on the lug. So endless options. Go check out this one on the website and pick yourself up a nice deal. So there you have it, guys and girls. This week's drop. There really is something for everyone. 12 watches. I would head over to the website if you're interested in any of these, even if it's just to see the photos or the descriptions. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into those. I know you guys and girls really appreciate it as well. So yeah, head on over to the website, check them out, make a purchase if you would like to, and we'll get it shipped off to you in due course. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Take care and see you next time.